What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your evening. You've had a great day so far and having a great work week. I got you an update on what's going on with this potential winter storm for the 13th into the 14th. That's this coming Sunday into Monday. It's just a potential right now, but we're breaking down what we know in these constant updates. I'm trying to feed y'all the most updated information because I really do think it's important. We're trying to figure out what's going on here and understanding that these models are constantly changing. But I'm here to give you the latest information. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that for me. Like the video if you like it. I appreciate the support. I promise you guys in the future these videos are going to get much better. I'm going to make it where I'm not sitting in my bedroom and y'all see my empty walls behind me in my bed. My house isn't the biggest house in the world. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of having a room dedicated just straight for making videos. But in the future, guys, things are going to continue to unfold, and I'm going to try to do stuff and just make this thing a lot better looking for you guys, I promise you. But I appreciate the amazing support regardless. It's amazing. I'm about to hit 25K here. And you guys are still just supporting me regardless of my setup, so I really appreciate that. Social media links are over here. It's a great way to stay up to date with the latest information. And there's a way to join my channel also. I try not to mention that a whole lot, but I got 15 incredible members who have joined my channel. It's just a way to help out financially a month. And I don't have anything cool to offer, guys. I really don't. I don't have a t-shirt or a hoodie or a coffee mug or anything. I never plan on selling shirts with Mitch West weather on it or anything. I think that, nothing against people who do that, but I just don't have any desire to do anything like that. But maybe in the future, in fact, I know in the future, I'm going to hook you guys up who are definitely joined in my channel. I really appreciate y'all. But let's get going. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it. It gives others an opportunity to do so too. And look out for one another here. So what we got here, after 2 minutes of rambling, we got the winter weather outlook. So we start to show this, well, when it starts to come up. And this is a % chance of a 1/4 inch of liquid equivalent to snow or sleet. So in the really light green areas, this includes Richmond, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, and anybody in between. You got a 10 to 30% chance to see, well, a 1/4 inch of liquid equivalent to snow and sleet. And I know you're thinking a 1/4 inch ain't a lot, but it's kind of the starting threshold of a winter storm. It's something we look at. Now that darker green, that is a 30 to 50% chance of what I just said. So confidence is a little bit more increased for the southern areas of New England, the southeastern areas, and the area of Long Island. So we'll continue to see how this expands or basically increases in confidence in the coming days. So what we're going to do here is look at the latest 12Z GFS, and then we're going to look at the latest GFS, which is the 18Z. So this was the run earlier today, which led me to make that post in the community post about how the models are starting to increase, that something is going to happen, and there still are. And it's still Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening. I feel like we still got an eternity before we get to the storm. We really don't, but it still feels like we got a lot of time for this to go one way or the other. But like we've been mentioning, if you guys have been watching the videos, cold air comes down and upper trough digs down, which is our cold front basically. Associated with that upper trough, Saturday morning, there could be an area of precipitation. In fact, if there's probably the most confidence, it's the confidence that this is going to happen, potentially. The highest confidence is what I'm trying to say. An area of moisture breaks out over the Mid-South, Kentucky, West Virginia. This area of moisture could have some meat to it, meaning, it could be some heavier precipitation. Some model runs show snow all the way to Louisiana. Some don't, and some show it all the way down to Birmingham. But there's going to be some kind of moisture right here as you're getting into your Saturday afternoon and evening. This is going to pivot through. It might enhance itself, show snow all the way into Birmingham, northwest Georgia as we're getting into Sunday morning. In the spine of the Appalachian Mountains, you got some heavy to moderate snow. And then up into West Virginia, Northern Virginia. And look at the low pressure right here. This is the piece of the northern stream energy and the southern stream. And what we're really looking for here is for these two to phase together if you want a big time storm. But if they don't phase together and they just interact with each other, that could be an impactful event also. In fact, no models really showed these phasing together at all. But they interact with each other on the 12Z. Therefore, you have some snow breaking out over North Carolina as we're getting into your Sunday evening snowy scenario for Virginia, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York City, Boston, up the 995 corridor in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And then as we're getting to our Monday morning, it pulls out. It's a quick hitter. and it's a light to moderate event, but a lot of people see accumulating snow. Now we take a look at the latest GFS. It's the latest one, right? So same situation. This drops down. You watch for this piece of energy right here with the northern stream. This comes down, but immediately it looks different. To me now, well, the latest GFS, it really amplifies the northern stream, and these don't even, I mean, I guess you can say they interact on off the coast, but there's less interaction, which means a lesser chance. I wouldn't say throw the word chance in there, but just on this particular model run, a lesser chance of these interacting together and this being just a bigger storm in general. But I will mention, even per the latest GFS, this piece of energy with the northern stream coming down from the upper trough, this is a pretty vigorous piece of energy. This is dropping, accumulating snow even outside the mountains into North Carolina, getting close to Charlotte, Virginia, Washington, D.C., seeing snow, but there's a big cutoff. There's really light stuff showing up for Philadelphia, Baltimore. Delmarva area is getting a light snow event, light band of snow breaking out over areas of southeast Virginia and eastern areas of North Carolina. And then you watch for this backside moisture that pivots through. This looks a lot. It looks very similar to the system that happened almost 2 weeks ago, where it was a big whiff for a lot of areas and in Raleigh and areas like that, and certain areas that were forecasting potentially 1 to 2 inches of snow just saw a dusting, and they were very disappointed about that. In fact, I've had a couple people in the comments let me have it for that one, but hey, it's going to happen. I'm not mad. Everybody gets frustrated, I guess, but here we go. You're looking, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning Monday, and a band of snow moving through South Carolina. And in fact, on the snowfall accumulation map, which I'm about to show you, it actually shows that drops snow into central South Carolina. But I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it at all. But the Canadian model, and there is an 18Z Canadian model, which I hear is trended a little bit worse. But this is what the Canadian model shows. It's really amped up with this moisture with the northern stream. This is not the southern stream. You got a Gulf low coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. And this could be pretty intense moisture right here with the upper trough here. It really can. You don't need these to necessarily phase or really interact. But the Canadian's a lot different. It really has the low pressure riding way up the coast. I don't know how that happens, but we'll see. And it actually becomes a pretty intense interior northeast snow per the latest Canadian model for your Sunday evening. Much quicker scenario also. You look at the latest European, and let me see if the 18Z has dropped yet. I don't think it has, but the 18Z will actually be in range here in about an hour. But we'll look at the 12Z and we'll see if it gets any worse. We'll look at the 12Z run. It did not fold to the GFS. It just becomes a little bit more amplified. You're getting into Sunday morning. You got light snow breaking out over North Carolina. And I will mention the Euro is not as excited about this moisture that I just showed you on the GFS and the Canadian. It's not as far as the Mid-South is. But you're getting into Sunday morning, snow breaking out over Virginia, North Carolina, and then there's a brief burst of heavier snow in central to southeast of Virginia into northeast North Carolina, into the Delmarva area, Delaware, areas of far southern New Jersey, Maryland, and then it moves on off the coast, but it's not a major event by no means. Look at the latest RGEM model, which has been pretty decent. It shows where that backside moisture could come through, but I really, if you look at the latest run, it looks like it's just not that big of an event. It really doesn't. But I'll remind you guys, it is Wednesday evening. This is going to continue to flip back and forth. But it shows snow, in these areas right here that I just kind of mentioned per the GFS. Now, let's look at the GFS from 12Z. Notice this is a pretty significant storm for Virginia, where you got over a half a foot of snow showing up in Washington, D.C., through the Delmarva area, areas of Maryland. Northern Maryland not getting hit quite as hard, but central areas of Maryland and basically the coastal regions hit pretty good. Southern New Jersey hit pretty well. And the southern New England areas, just a few inches of snow, nothing unheard of. But North Carolina, you notice accumulating snow even into Raleigh, very close to Charlotte. But you look at the latest GFS, cuts down its own totals just altogether, but it still centers the snow in Virginia. It looks like a decent Virginia storm and has that stripe of heavy snow into the Delmarva area, and then bring snow even into North Carolina. And then check out this weird tail right here. And that's that band I was just showing you about that gets down into Columbia that drops half an inch of snow. But please don't take that serious, guys. One thing I noticed from this GFS to the last one, it really takes away from this upper trough energy. It really does. We'll have to see how that trends. That was the thing I was the most confident in. But then, of course, the evening runs come, and they're starting to kind of do away with that. But it could turn around and bring it right back. So that's why I remind you guys, I'm here to just bring you the latest and greatest information, right? And give you my opinions on it. But it's hard for me to give you my opinions on this until we get about 24 to 48 hours within the event, because my opinions don't matter if these models keep changing back and forth. European, just pretty much a light event for the Delmarva area, Southeast Virginia, areas of the coastal regions of Maryland, and just basically a dusting to maybe an inch for areas of North Carolina. It's Cape Cod gets a little love with a few inches of snow, but other than that, not a big event. You look at the GEFS latest, it still likes central to southeast Virginia. Solid signal into northern areas of North Carolina and Virginia too, where the border meets, and that's about it. It's not a solid signal, but guys, I'll win this by saying this for the 15th time in the last 2 days. We're still far out. I know it doesn't feel far out, but we really are. This is really could potentially be just it starts as soon as Saturday, which is technically still only about 48 to 72 hours out, but really there's a lot of time for this to shift. If you look, remember the blizzard that happened a couple weeks ago. That began to shift really inside 48 to 72 hours. So keep that in mind as we're going forward here, guys. Lots of changes can still occur, but that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great night, and stay safe.